That's you, Lorraine.
I like anything. Welcome back, beautiful brave hearts. It's Lorraine here. I'm in Calgary, Alberta. I am a master practitioner and trainer with the DACA Detox. And I have the beautiful Cheryl Serta here with us. We are here for the pelvic restoration for men and women masterclass. So yes, men, you have pelvic issues too. It's not just women. We have more, that's for sure. That's for sure. We got more bells and whistles down there. Cheryl?
Well, thanks for that, Lorraine. It's like my bells and whistles are quiet right now. I am Cheryl Serta. I am a master practitioner with a Power Pack clinic in Northern California, Occidental Health and Healing. And you are absolutely right. There are more issues for women, which is when we start our pelvic course that we do every Monday. Sometimes it might feel like we're focusing on women, but the truth is all of the topics that we cover, except for maybe menstruation, is also something that men certainly have issues with as well. And here it is. This is our masterclass. We are on every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And before we start, we'd like to tell everybody your questions matter. So, whatever platform that you are listening to us on and watching, please put your questions in. We will go back and look at and answer any questions that anybody puts into the feeds so that we can answer and get back to you in quicker, right? And so that you can always feel like we're taking care of whatever is going on for you right now in your life. So, bhnuniversity.com. That's us, pelvic restoration. There is still room in the live pelvic restoration for women only in Calgary, Canada. You want to tell us about it, Lorraine?
Absolutely. So it is starting on June the 27th and running to the 29th. It's always a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And yes, we still have some room available. So if you've been sitting on the edge and thinking, I should take that, I should take that. Okay, so what's stopping you? This is the best class for women. And I believe that absolutely every woman should be taking this class. I know when I took the first one, I was blown away how disconnected I was to the pelvic area. I know Cheryl says the same thing. It's like we haven't been taught, and especially my age. And I'm going to say any age right now because we're just not taught. We're not taught anything about that except for you're going to have babies and you're going to be there to please your husband. you know, that's about it. That's about it. So definitely there's a lot more that you need to know about that area. And it is truly the powerhouse for healing for women. So when we can get truly connected, the healing happens.
Well, the other thing I'd like to share too is that even, not just not being connected to our pelvic course, but being taught misinformation. So many women have been taught things, the wrong, what do I say, the wrong path to take in your healing journey. Because we advocate this power to the medical system who has somehow blinded us to our own pelvic area so that when something happens down there, it's almost like we start to panic and we get, like hypochondriacs instead of realizing what a gentle process to healing there really is. And that's why we love coming on here on Mondays and being able to share this information with you. And we're on all these different platforms. It doesn't matter where you got you guys, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble. As long as we can, we will absolutely be bringing this on every platform. Of course, if you go to the BHN app, they can never take us away from that platform. And look at that, Healers of the Faith sale we're still having. If anybody missed Dr. Judy Mikovits, I know they're repeating it at midnight, and I know they're going to have it in the app broken down, or go back to Instagram and find it and listen to it. It was amazing. And so this sale is going to go until Sunday, June 15th. That's right, Father's Day. So buy Dad a structured water unit. He'll be so happy.
There you go, 30% off or up to 30% off. So our topic today is infertility for women. So this one we are, concentrating on the women, but guess what? Infertility happens with men also. And it's basically the same reason we, so we're going to get at this here.
What is infertility? And of course, what people don't realize is that it's 1 in 5 women between 15 and 48 with primary first child infertility. That is a huge number, right? It's not getting pregnant with 1 year of trying, or you got pregnant, but then had repeat miscarriages. That's what they consider infertility. And it traces back to males 30% of the time and back to women 40% of the time. And of course, if you think about it and you think we are such an inflammation nation, and if these are the cells and the eggs that we're growing in that kind of environment, then of course infertility is on the rise, right? It says what? Go ahead, Lorraine.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know when I was having babies, I never heard of anyone who could not have a baby. It was few and far between. No, I had a sister-in-law who had issues down in her pelvic area and had her bits and pieces removed when she was young, and she never had kids. But that was the only one that I know of.
Yeah. And they go, oh, what? Why? Why is there so much infertility? Well, the number one, right there on the top, we live in a stressful environment. People at work, imagine the pressure. And, if you listen to the news or you listen to all the misinformation you're given, it builds the pressure to the point of boiling, right? Well, when you're in that stressed out situation, you're stuck in a sympathetic state, which means that your body's never relaxing. It's on flight or fright. It's in defense mode. And nothing's going to happen while we're in defense mode because that's the job of the body is to protect you. And if you're feeling stressed out, it needs to stay on guard. And of course, the other big one, sleep deprivation. It is the number one thing I hear my clients say is that I don't sleep well. And of course, there's going to be a lot of issues for sleep deprivation, but worry and stress is one of the big ones. And then, of course, women are fluctuating with weight issues, either too thin and malnourished or over toxic. Either way, you can still be over toxic, right? Because we already know that there's no such thing as overweight anymore, right? And then there's cycle confusion, which is really just irregular periods where if you get too thin and your body weight goes down and you don't have enough fat, then your body will stop, having a cycle. That actually happened to me during one of those sad times in my life where I got so thin, I stopped having a period. And so that's again your body supporting you to, do as much as you can to keep you alive, right? Smoking and drinking, of course, we've known that for years that it lowers the fertility rate. Biofeedback. Now that's an interesting one. And then you have past cancer. Well, if you've had cancer, you definitely had fourth stage inflammation. So inflammation means you've got this acidic environment. So it makes sense that could absolutely create. And of course, if you took chemotherapy or any of those kind of things, it also adds to the issue, right? Do you want to take it from here, Lorraine?
Certainly. So, history of STDs. And we know that, yeah, when there's inflammation down in that pelvic area, things aren't going to be going right. Irregular periods, definitely, because that's kind of the same thing. When my periods are either really long and heavy or not there, I mean, that's gonna cause these kind of problems. Age 35 or over. Um, they keep saying that, but you know what? My daughter is 42 and she's pregnant. It's less because the eggs are less and yeah. But anyhow, medical conditions and of course, if you've got endometriosis or problem with the fallopian tubes or even, that C word down there, yeah, that's going to interrupt things a bit. Birth control. So birth control, If nowadays there is the injection one, and there is the IUD that lasts for 5 years. Both of these things can make it so that you may not be able to have children because it's messing with your hormones, right? And if you've got that for 5 years, what's your body going to say? I don't need to make these hormones anymore. It's going to take a while to rectify that. And I do believe that there's still a way to rectify it, but I'm just saying this is one of the issues. Couples are waiting longer to start their families. So yeah, they're later in life, past their prime. But is it? I don't know. If we go back biblically, I mean, there was women that were well past hundreds still having babies, right? So I don't know.
One of the other things, since I kind of slipped over the biofeedback, but I actually have someone with this issue. If you had a difficult pregnancy or people in your family have had lots of miscarriages, you get a lot of feedback from family. Oh, you'll be lucky if you get to carry it. Oh, you're probably going to have so much trouble getting pregnant. And guess what? This thing here, this computer program, doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. And the more you say it, the more it gets created. And I see that on a continual basis. You know, I mean, I tell the story because I had a girlfriend and she says, I can have a baby any day but October 19th. And that's all she said. And guess when she had that baby? October 19th.
I know, and exactly. We get a thought that creates the emotion that creates the issue in our tissue, and that goes for more than just infertility. That goes for everything. So let's keep our thoughts pure and on the healthy side, right? We want to get rid of that stinking thinking and that BS, which is um, just oh gosh, I know what it is. We're
it's
just,
it's okay. It just means that anytime we have a negative thought and we don't go cancel clear or stop the process, then we continue that negative feedback, then that becomes a way. So when you think about it, if we're frequency, if we're electromagnetic and you're putting out negative energy, you're attracting negative energy back. So we talk all the time about keeping your positive thoughts. You get up every morning and go, oh, I'm making my body so relaxed and available and ready, and nature will work as soon as we get the inflammation out.
yeah,
So here's some signs, right? We talked a little bit about the irregular periods or absence of periods or heavy periods. And women weren't taught much about their cycles. They were told, well, you should have it every 28 days. Well, not everybody was a 28-day cycle, right? And then your body adjusts to your environment as well. And so I really noticed that I had really, really heavy periods, and my periods lasted 10 to 14 days. And I want you to remember, and that happened every 28 days. So when you think about, how much my body was flushing. So was that why I got pregnant so easy? I don't know. But I do know that my body was definitely, like I want to call it, on hyperdrive. I didn't realize that a lot of that could have been coming from inflammation. Nobody taught me those things when I was on my menstrual cycle. Nobody said, you really shouldn't be eating food combining like that. My mom didn't know, and so it just kind of got passed down from generation to generation until we know better. And then we have courses like this, right, Lorraine?
exactly. You can't do better until you know better. So you're off the hook already, So let's get back to brass tacks, tried and true stuff that has been around for eons. And that's what we're talking about, If you get back to simple, what Mother Nature gave us, that's half the problem. And then we have the cost of infertility treatment. Like this is a big wow. That's 12,000 to 30,000 per cycle. And usually the first two or three cycles, you'd be lucky to conceive. When I was doing the research, it said it may take up to 6 or more cycles. So just imagine with the cost. This is going to break the bank. Why don't you just look at what are you doing? Because your body knows how to heal. I don't care well, I guess there's some things that would make it so that you would be infertile, like you don't have ovaries, or, the uterus was removed, or a condition. But if it's not any of those, then there's no reason why you cannot reverse this.
Right. And IVF stimulates, the egg, and the chances of having multiple births goes from 1% to 30% when you're on IVF. And I mean, I know that doctors actually come when six will go, are you sure you want to keep six? I mean, then just another whole emotional trauma you have to ask yourself in that situation. Or all of a sudden, you have 6 kids instead of one.
Yeah, and as a mother, or a new mom who really wanted to have kids, that is a difficult. I wouldn't want say, I wouldn't want to consider not having those babies. I would probably do everything I could to have those babies.
Well, and then the next slide is talking about the risks of IVF, which is amazing, when you think about it, because of the overstimulation of the ovaries, right? You can have an ectopic pregnancy. It's like the body's in a hurry. It's kind of like when you're running and you're not paying attention and you run into something, it's like, oh, here's a good place to attach. And it just starts the process too soon. And then, of course, there's always miscarriage. And of course, the multiple birth, which means you have a premature delivery and low birth rate. I mean, a woman's body wasn't meant to hold 6 babies. I mean, it was so rare that triplets were born. I think that I had one set of triplets that I knew growing up. And it was so interesting because it was one girl and 2 boys. And I thought, wow, I can't even imagine, naturally having 3 babies and being mentally prepared for that, right? Or even what it means to have to want to breastfeed and do all that for 3 babies. Woof. And of course, birth defects are also a big possibility when you're putting so many extra hormones into your body. And then age is a factor, right? It's supposed to increase the possibility of 4-stage inflammation we call cancer, preeclampsia. If nobody knows what that means, it's like where the uterus it's like an abruption where you um, can't hold the baby long enough, right? I've actually had people who had to have their uterus sewn shut in an attempt to not lose the baby and on complete bed rest. I mean, when you think about that and the what we're willing to do, right? Because we've forgotten how to get back to that beautiful, perfect state that your body's waiting to do, right? To get back to nature, to nurture, to grow.
Yeah, it's all about cleaning house and really understanding how the body works. We have never been in such a toxic world. Right from our thoughts to what we're putting in here, to the things that we do, like everything is so toxic. So we've got to come clean. That's what we have to do. We have
Right.
to look at absolutely everything that we're doing in our home, like how many chemicals are we bringing in? Am I using bleach? You know, I know it cleans my whites, but am I using bleach? There's just so many things, even the toothpaste, the shampoos, the things that we're putting on our face. The average woman, by the time they leave the house, has over 200 chemicals on their body. The average baby nowadays is born with over 200 chemicals in their body. Huh, there's a correlation there.
But I also want to correct something I said. Preeclampsia is actually high blood pressure. It's when you have a tendency for high blood pressure, then you get the swelling in the feet, and that it's not really. I was thinking of the placenta abruption. That's not what preeclampsia is. So I was just thinking to myself, going, that's when too much protein shows up in your urine. And it's one of the things that they're looking for because your body's not able to process things the way it would normally.
Didn't it used to be called toxemia?
Toxemia, that's right.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
Because now we're going to talk about, that's right, the answer to everything when we talk about stuff here at the DACA Detox and what we've learned and what we live by is this highway of life. And this is what I wish they would teach every single child in school. If they had this in healthcare, if this is what your child was taught when they actually took, uh, what did they call it? Health? It was like health.
Health. Yeah.
It was
Is
supposed to
it?
be a health course, and they did you that horrible pyramid of what the food you're supposed to eat, and all the meat and dairy and stuff at the top. So, I really think now if we had somebody who could go in and go, but listen, we need to be teaching our children that this is a 32-foot journey from the mouth to the rectum. Teach our children that they're frequency being. Teach our children that they need to eat food that's high in frequency because they are energy beings. Teach them about food combining. Can you imagine how powerful it would be? So it becomes the responsibility of us as parents, as aunts, or friends, or anything like that, when we learn this information, to pass it on. And you do it in the kindest way because people have been doing this for a long time and thinking they're doing a great job, feeding their children because they went to the store and it said it was organic and it said it was, they didn't think, well, I'm giving them organic, but it's not alive. It's processed. It's in a package. It has a shelf life. If it has a shelf life, it can't possibly be alive. It isn't a freeze-dried product that's hydrated, or how that process is that actually maintains some of the vitamins. So, when my kids were little, I literally took my own vegetables I was eating and I had a little baby food grinder that was right at the table. And I gave them the fresh vegetables and everything that I was eating. Now, did I necessarily food combine properly? No, because I added protein with my starches. However, I was giving them stuff right from my garden. So they were getting, the closest to high frequency fruits and vegetables. We had a fruit orchard and we were very, very fortunate. So they could go out and pick them. They learned to do the garden. They learned to sow the soil. So they have a leg up on a lot of other children, especially when they live in, developments, right? But you can have a little box garden, just a little box garden you put outside, just start teaching our kids. And so I'm just going to hand this over to Lorraine, and she's going to talk more about what happens when we don't food combine properly.
Yes. So when we're not food combining properly, so we're meat and potatoes. This is, I mean, who eats that? Everybody. Everybody. Spaghetti and meatballs, same thing. Uh, Toast and bacon and eggs. Yeah, same thing, right? We're all doing it, and it's because we've been ruled, schooled, and fooled. So let's just start educating ourselves. Go and download that perfect day guide. Go to pdgfree.com, download the perfect day guide and start looking at food combining and start shifting. When we look at the foods that are going in here, we want high vibrational foods, high frequency foods. Our bodies are electromagnetic, we're electromagnetic beings. So we need to constantly be putting that voltage in there. My apple will run a clock. Did you know that? It'll run a clock. Your hamburger will not. And I've proved it. I used to teach classes for kids and I would bring my potato clock. Look it up if you haven't seen one. And you just put these prongs in whatever, and if it runs the clock, there's still frequency in there, or vibration or energy. If it doesn't, then what are you doing to eat that? Because if you eat that, it is robbing from your stores in your body. It's robbing energy in order to break it down. And if you are in a disease state, you're going down. You're going down. You're getting worse. So we've got to educate. We've got to let people know this is what we're looking for. We need that electromagnetic energy. So what's going in here counts. We need to chew our food properly. If we're not chewing properly, if we're not chewing our solids to liquids, our stomach doesn't have teeth. It's not going to get broken down any more than that. I mean, yes, good digestion is going to help break some down, but it's not going to take a hunk and break it down. It can't do that. And now that stays, and it takes longer for your digestion to do anything with it. So it's just churning and churning and churning and churning. And before long, it starts to putrefy. And when it putrefies, now you're feeding the bad bacteria, the fungus, and the parasites. The fungus, this is the worst predators. They make their way down into the large intestine, and they actually drill holes in that large intestine. So anything transitioning through the large intestine has the opportunity to fall into the pelvic bowl. Now you're creating a manure pile. And if it's staying there and it's getting bigger, it's going to infect all of your organs. And then, first of all, the organs and whatever's down there gets irritated. All the tissues get irritated, and then they get inflamed, and then they get infected, and then you get tissue rot, and then you get mutation. So let's be real. Let's chew properly. Let's food combine properly. Let's sit down to a meal when we are in a good frame of mind. We're not going to rush through things. We're going to give reverence to the things that are actually supporting our body. This counts.
One of the things we talk about is the high frequency. What is high frequency foods? We didn't go through it this time. Well, your fruits have the highest frequency. They are juicy and they are raw. So the raw foods are going to have the highest frequencies, followed by your vegetables, right? And then if you want to cook once in a while, it's a winter day, you want to make a soup, well, make a soup, but keep the vegetables al dente. The more you cook, the worse you look, and the more you fry, the quicker you die. And even when I go to the farmer's market, I come home and wash my vegetables in structured water, right? Anytime we use structured water on any of the things that we're doing, I mean, it's just like the magic serum. And when we get to the next slide, this is the computer printout, because, people say to me, well, how do I know if I'm rotting? I go, do your farts stink? That tells me something. Does your poop have an odor that requires you to open the door or leave a note on it saying, don't go in there? You're going in at your own risk. If you have to say that, imagine the risk that you're taking every day when you continue to eat that kind of food. And one of the things that Dr. Judy Mikovits said today, which actually really brought it home, she said, digestion doesn't happen in the stomach. It is already into metabolism. Light on, light off, light on, light off, which means our digestion has to be here. If you are not chewing your food until it's a liquid, if you are not allowing all the digestive juices to get into it, that when it passes through the stomach to start the metabolism, it's got nothing to work with, right? And now if you already have inflammation, you don't have good gut flora. You've got to rebuild the gut flora, and probiotics are not going to do it for you, okay? That's like throwing money down the tubes. You need to actually have real nutrition. And this is why she always talks about, nutrition nutraceuticals. These are real food. This is not a supplement. And this is what we talk about when we talk about the highway to health and everything here at Braveheart Nation, because look what happens. If you start getting backup and the fecal matter can't move out, and now you've got all the stuff in your manure pile and your body's doing everything it can to help you out. It's got parasites in there trying to eat it up. It's got the fungus and the mold and the yeast, right? but it's not going to work fast enough if you've got a standard American diet, which is basically fast food. And I'm telling you, I've seen people sit down and call a meal a hamburger, French fries, and a Coke. That only not only has zero frequency, but I believe the Coke will actually go less than zero, which means it's actually harming your body. So you're putting in poisons, and your body can only do so much. If you're younger, you get away with it longer because your body can make it a lot more. But eventually, you're going to run out of that HCG. You're going to run out of the hydrochloric acid that's breaking stuff down in your stomach, and you're going to end up with this kind of inflammation. And when you look at the pelvic bowl, you guys, you've got your sacrum right behind it. You've got your hip bones. You've got all these issues. And this is the center. This is our pivot. This is what is, giving us that foundation and balance. Once you get so much inflammation in there, it's going to affect everything from your back, your spine, your hips, your knees, your feet. And now you've got toe fungus. Lorraine's 6,000 view.
Yeah, exactly. That only proves how many people have toe fungus out there, and nobody is looking at what they're putting in here. They're blaming it on going to the gym or swimming pool and getting it from anybody. No, no, no. That's not what happened. But change your way of doing things. Introduce things that really are going to support the body. Raw and fresh fruits and vegetables. That's what we need. And sprouts, man, there's the bomb as far as energy goes. So electromagnetic beings need energy being replaced into their body every day because we blink and we use energy, right?
And of course, someone asked, what's chewing properly? It means drinking your solids, chewing every mouthful until it's a liquid. That means put your fork down and make sure that you're in a relaxed parasympathetic state. No arguing. I say don't watch TV, or, watch the news or anything that's going to create a reaction in you. You can't do that. You got to be in a nice little happy spot.
Get off your devices when you're eating. They're called devices for a reason,
Right?
because everybody's glued to them now. Okay, let's carry on.
On to our gentle daily. This is our 3 foundational products, and of course, we've already talked about this, the structured water unit that you're going to be making everything we talk about with, because it's going to make it 700 times more available to your body, right? So you have the beautiful daily cleansing tea. This is the most gentle, fabulous tea. 2 tea bags makes a gallon. So this is something and it tastes really good, by the way. And it is a gentle cleansing for all the organs. There are no stimulants in it. There is nothing in it that will make you go to the bathroom. However, if you are really toxic and your organs are too, you can actually start creating things moving. Even when you start taking it, you do not want to have diarrhea. If that happens, you back off a little. Start with 4 ounces in the morning. See how you do. If you did great, have 4 ounces at night before you go to bed. We want to get that peristalsis back into your intestine. We want you to be able to have bowel movements where you're not straining. There should be no pushing out. This should be a slippery slope as it makes its way out the door, right? And so we're going to start taking the black gold. This is an amazing humic acid. This is going to affect the digestive tract, right? So it's going to absorb 400 times its weight in toxic metals, in fungus, in mold, and parasites attached to it, and flush it out of your body while leaving behind 70 amazing nutrients that will help regrow the gut biome with what your body needs. And as a bonus, ladies, it's going to balance our hormones. You too, man, you have hormones. It isn't just us. But for us women, we tend to notice it even more. And then all the amazing things the black gold is doing for us in the intestinal tract, the black diamond is doing it in our blood, because it has the ability. It is a humic fulvic nano. It is so tiny, it can pass through the blood-brain barrier. This means that in your blood, it's going to be attaching to 400 times its weight in any free radicals or heavy metals or fungus or mold or yeast or virus or whatever it is to flush it out of the body. I think this is an amazing army to have in your body, actually working for you to rebuild your immune system, to get the flames down. And anything I forgot, Lorraine, you want to add to that?
Nope, nope. It's tiny. You want to do both.
Yes.
One of the biggest questions is, I'm doing the black gold. Why do I need black diamond? Well, it's because black gold only works in the digestive tract, too big to get into the rest of the body. You need the black diamond. Like I said earlier, we are in this very, very toxic world. We have to be on top of the toxins that are coming in on a regular basis by what I'm breathing, what I'm drinking, even the organic stuff that I'm eating, because glyphosate is everywhere. We want to be able to be on top of this and really clean out as much as we can, take control of what we can control. And that's what this does. And then because we are talking about a specific pelvic issue, um, and large intestine, we know the large intestine is the holy grail of our health. And when the large intestine is working properly, the whole body is working properly. So the ultimate coffee enema is more about supporting the liver than it is about emptying the large intestine. Down in the rectum, about 2 inches up into the rectum, there is the hepatic portal. And as soon as that ultimate coffee hits there, it has direct access to the liver. And then it puts the liver on what I call hyperdrive. So where it is producing antioxidants, I believe it's 600 times more effective. And there's a bunch of other things that it's also doing, but antioxidants are really important. When you can hold that coffee for 3 minutes, you've allowed your entire blood system to go through the liver when it is producing on hyperdrive. So your blood is getting cleaned immensely while you're doing the ultimate coffee enema. If you can hold it up to 12 minutes, well, you've allowed your entire blood system to go through 4 times. You don't need to do any more than that. You can go from a state of, I got no energy, to a state of, woohoo, I'm back. And I've seen it, I've witnessed it, well, in myself.
That's
And
fabulous. And I feel the same way because you're supporting your body while you're, getting rid of the toxins and the inflammation. Good for you. And then on top of doing the ultimate coffee enema, you want to be doing the ultimate infusion. Whether you're doing it, if you're doing a rectal one, then you want to do the coffee enema first, the ultimate coffee enema. Absolutely is mandatory. And then if you are women, we want to be doing the vaginal infusion. And the products that are in here are specifically designed to rebuild the tissues, to heal the inflammation, to be able to pass through the blood-brain barrier, to start addressing issues immediately. Because remember, we can be taking things through from our mouth, but by the time it gets through the intestinal, and that's what the black gold is doing, cleaning it all up, it's not going to have as much efficacy when it gets to the pelvic bowl. So why not come at it from both ends? That's right. And as they, it's like an army. When you surround the enemy, you get them from all sides, you're going to win the war. So, and this is the war against inflammation. I get this whole visual, right? My little Pac-Man's coming from both angles. So I encourage you guys, you got to download the Perfect Day app. The Perfect Day Guide, which is in Evolve, which is in the app, so that you can get all the directions and read them and find out about all the products and why they're so important. We don't have time to do that in this, every Monday, but I'm telling you that Perfect Day Guide is absolutely phenomenal. Okay. You'll get used to it. You can do a search when you're on your phone or the website. It'll go right to the section that you need. So that's the part that I really enjoy. And they've broken down the audios and things in the Evolve to make it easier to find so that you can go right to what you want, if it's the ultimate coffee enema or if it's something else. So that's what I really love about that. So go to pdgfree.com. And right now, I know that they're having a sale on the perfect day if you want the book. You buy one for 95 and you get a second one free. So that's like half off. That's 50% off, guys. So, you want this to have it in your house. You want it in your offices. You want your kids to be reading this instead of some of the other stuff that's out there. We want to start teaching them from the ground up, right, Lorraine?
That's right. You want to own it and then live it. And then the world's largest self-help, self-care masterclass library, you're going to find that in the BHN app. You're going to go to Evolve. And then in Evolve, you'll be able to see the master classes, and you can go into those. That would be like the Braveheart Emotional Intelligence Masterclass. A to Z Wellness Guide is in there. There's a bunch of master classes. And then just below that is where you're going to find the rest of the library. So a lot of people, they've called and said, "Hey, Lorraine, I can find the master classes, but I can't find the rest." Well, you just have to keep scrolling down and get out of the master classes and get into the library. Yeah. So definitely explore, learn. It takes, only a few minutes of your time to figure out how to get here, and then the world will open up because you are going to get an understanding, or rather an understanding, of how the body works.
And there's something really exciting about learning something new. I know I do. And if you really want to learn about something phenomenal, you want to take the whole life health coach certification course, right? Because then you and your beloved, by the way, when you go as a couple, it's 25% off, are going to be able to be on the same page, talk the same talk, and understand, to be supported while you make this change. This is a lifestyle change. This is a live it, right? This isn't some diet. This is a live it for life. This is where you take your health back and you let go of the addictions that we have all been taught to do. I did. My goodness, I still can smell certain foods and know it and get triggered. It's like it's that primal. And I thought, wow, they were so good when they set this all up, right? And so what I tell people, come to the Whole Life Coach. You'll learn about your body, but you're also going to learn about the emotional healing, which is so very, very important, right? And the spiritual, because you have to learn how to love yourself. But first, you have to find the light inside of you because we're light beings. So come and get your coconut cracked. It's a groundbreaking experience. Later, we're going to talk about where these are going to be held. I know that the one in LA has been moved to January. So the last one for the Whole Life Coach is going to be in Ixtapa, Mexico in October. So you want to jump on that if you can get down there, because I know I'll be there. Lorraine's going to be there.
Yeah. And then there's the Wolfe Non-Surgical Certification with Dr. Sage Wolfe. Dr. Sage was definitely named perfectly. He is an amazing practitioner, and he is the trainer of trainers, right? He is the one who has taught everybody who got certified in the non-surgical. And this body work is by far uh, it's definitely out of this world. I've never experienced anything like this before I did. You don't know what you don't know, right? But man, the release that you have, the just your mind is better, your body feels better, you get more mobility, stability, flexibility. We are reversing the irreversible. So if a doctor said, you got XYZ and this is your life, your lot in life, I'm going to say BS. Because there is so much that can be reversed so that you can have a quality life as you age. There is no reason why not. Our body knows how to heal. We just need to know what to do to allow it to heal. And this opens up the calcification, crystallization, scar tissue. And then you get better blood flow, lymphatic flow, and nervous system connection. So let's understand how the body works and really take this to heart. If you are a practitioner or you just want to get healthy, this is a course you should be signing up for. And the next one is here in Calgary, but we are full to the max. Um, the next one after that would be Ixtapa, Mexico.
And of course, talk about learning something. You want to take the Women's Pelvic Restoration and Dis-Ease Prevention Masterclass and take it in person. Because the last one in person where you have, Lorraine or myself, and or myself, then you have to sign up. It is June 27th to 29th, and you'll give Lorraine a call, which she'll give to you in just a minute. But the next one, there's going to be an Ixtapa, and that's November 21st to 23rd. However, it's also going to be filmed online. So even if you're there in person, you won't have the same attention that you'll get when you don't have the cameras and everything rolling, right? So I think this is one of the most important classes that a woman can ever take. Get out of the dark ages. Find out how to reverse the irreversible when it comes to all the issues that women have. Do it in the most powerful way possible, which is in a room filled with women who are all coming together to heal. Nothing happens like that that's more magical. It just is. And we're going to teach you so many things in the course, women. And I can't go into it right now because we got several slides to get through in 10 minutes. So
Yes,
please
yes.
go to bhnuniversity.com, find out where it is, call Lorraine or I with any questions you have.
Yeah, and you can call me 403-605-9216. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. And just know that we have Gold Care, and this is a BHN TV special world event with Dr. Dana Cranberg Nil and Dr. Simone Gold and Dr. Daryl Wolfe and 18 world leading healers. Now, this is going to be on Sunday, July the 13th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Monday, there is a live Q&A July the 14th from 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we're also doing one in the evening for those who can't make the afternoon. So Tuesday, July the 15th, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. Sign up at bhnuniversity.com. These special world events that we are having are amazing, and you will get so much information. So sign up, bhnuniversity.com.
And look at that. So whether it's on the app or you can go to bhnuniversity.com and go to events and look at all the things that we are offering. I mean, it is amazing. And this is all free. All you have to do is register and come and do it, because when we are self-educated, we become self-practitioners. We go from patient to healer, right? We go from victim to hero. So that's what we want to see, is nothing but healing heroes. And whether we are banned or not doesn't matter. We are still growing, and they can never knock us off our platform. So we're going to continue to give the message that is the truth. And it's something that every human being needs to hear. And we stay connected and we thrive. That's right. We're growing every day.
So you want to download that bhnapp.com. So and you can download it on your PC, on your laptop, on any device that you have. And then you've got all this information at your fingertips. So you can track your perfect day, news and events like we just went over, New World Practitioner Map, where you're going to find Cheryl and myself, Evolve, the world's largest free online library, videos, guides, and audios for self-healing. Connect, where you can connect with other brave hearts all over the world. And then Perfect Match. And that would be for people who are single and are looking for another brave heart. The mindful moment. There's a little Tibetan bell that you can set for every half hour, and maybe you want to just connect to your breath, come back here, calm the body, whatever it is, you can use these things. I know I do. So go to bhnapp.com to unleash your roar, unleash your ability to heal. And then,
guess what?
Go ahead.
Dr. Sage Wolfe is doing a tour, right? He was in Stuart, Florida, but he left it. He's leaving tomorrow, so I don't think there's any appointments there. So he's
Nope.
going on to St. Louis, Missouri. He'll be there from July 6th to July 15th. And then you can call Tim or Sandy at 479 whoop
Sorry.
215-9592. That's okay. I got it memorized. And then he actually will be coming to Occidental July 20th to July 29th. I do have some Wolfe Non-Surgical appointments available. The thermographies are all taken, but that doesn't mean I can't fit some more Wolfe Non-Surgicals in. You can call me at 707-322-1979. He leaves my place and heads to Los Angeles, California from July 31st to August 7th. You can give Niren a call at 386-631-4066. And then I believe his last stop is Montreal, Quebec. Last time in Canada for a while, people. So you want to give Christine a call at 438-929-0997. And she speaks fluent French for anybody that needs to reach out in French.
And this is the Dr. Sage where he's going to be. So he's going to actually be in Calgary, June the 26th to the 30th. And that would be right after he finishes the Wolfe Non-Surgical here in Calgary. And yeah, you can just go to bhnuniversity.com to get more information and get yourself booked in for one of these places. And again, I have some non-surgical appointments available while he's here in Calgary, 26th to the 30th, and that's this month. Give me a call, 403-605-9216. And then here are the dates and places where the courses are going on. So the first one up there is Calgary, and that's starting this Saturday. Woohoo! And then right after the non-surgical with Dr. Sage, there's a women's pelvic restoration, June the 27th to the 29th. And I do have a couple more spots available. So you can give me a call, 403-605-9216 if you need more information, or you can go directly to bhnuniversity.com and sign up for more information. Because Canadians, we pay that dollar amount in Canadian. So don't sign up there. You're going to give Cynthia a call. The number is 1-855-900-4544 extension 1. And then we're into Ixtapa for all three of the courses starting October the 29th and running to November the 23rd with the pelvic restoration. And then Los Angeles, the whole life coach starts January the 14th, and we end the pelvic one February the 8th. And then Ixtapa Zihuatanejo, January the 28th to February the 22nd. And just know there's financing available for US.
And look at this, DOD 5-star. They're opening a new one in St. Cloud, Florida on Jim Gale's property. Woo! And of course, we'll still have Ixtapa Zihuatanejo because as we said before, we want to bring all patients to healers, and we are available on all these different podcasts, you guys. So while you're in your car, when you're walking, instead of, mindlessly, I listen to the podcast. It's amazing how your body can focus when you're just walking or doing something like that. When I'm driving instead, we have fulfillment centers. We ship worldwide. We're in the United States and Canada and Australia. Shop DOD now. And of course, become an affiliate partner. I love it, Lorraine. Go to DocsPartner.com and earn commissions on referrals. And that includes all of us practitioners out there as well. So you can take advantage of this because we want Power Pack clinics all over the world. And if you are a practitioner, regardless, you want to be carrying our high frequency nutriceuticals. There are no chemicals, there's nothing in them, there are no fillers. It is nutrition and it is readily available to your body. So most people email office.docadetox@gmail.com, but you can always call that 1-800 number, 855-900-4544. And then the Power Pack Clinics, there we are, comes with a 23-day professional training with every cell sonic regeneration and cardio med bed, guys. DODpowerpack.com. Here in the USA, there is financing. This will change the way your clinic, you will become an amazing healer. And there it is. So if you're in the USA, for all the courses as well as the Power Pack, you can qualify for financing.
All right.
You're up.
Okay. And then there is the DoD 5-star World Healing and Training Retreat, and it is a beautiful place. If you are looking to get away and do some health, do a health journey or heal something, this is the place to go. You know, you're going to do much better at healing your body if you are not in the same place that you manifest it. So go to dod5star.com and get some more information. And here's pictures of what it looks like. It's an amazing place. It is, I would say, beyond 5-star. It is gorgeous. Everything healthy is available for you. And yes, go to dod5star.com. And just know that Dr. Sage will, for certification, for personal certifications and training, Dr. Sage will come to you, or you can come to us in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, and pretty soon in Florida.
And of course, we talk about it all the time, but we have not raised our prices. And so that's, if you're in Canada, you get it for Canadian dollars right now, because this is the gift that he's giving to you guys. And I would jump on it, right? And so again, financing if you're in the United States, you guys, and don't miss out. It's an amazing opportunity. And of course, if you're starting this journey, get a perfect day consultation, have a coach for life. Okay. If you want Dr. Daryl Wolfe, it's $250. He has a long waiting list. Or you can get a New World Master Practitioner for $150. Go to perfectdayconsultations.com and get somebody in your corner. And then look at the clothing. We have the sweatshirts, we have t-shirts, we have hats, and we also have hoodies. So you can be a walking, beautiful advertisement. And someone goes, what do you mean crack the coconut? See, word of mouth. We can start healing each other one person at a time and pay it forward, right? And of course, there's that download again for the pdgfree.com. We tell everybody just do it. They're on sale right now. Buy one, get one for $45. I mean, for half off, or free. So they're both 45, 40 something.
There you go. And then Healthy 200. You want to take your power back and really start healing. This is the perfect book. It is hilarious and serious at the same time. You can find it at pdgfree.com, and where you can download it or you can purchase it from the store. Just know that the only permanent healthcare is self-care, and the only permanent love is self-love. And if you want to rise to your full potential, you have to learn how to fly, which is an acronym. First, love yourself. You cannot give what you do not have. Here
And
at
of course,
Braveheart, go
shall I
ahead.
take it away?
Yeah.
Here in Braveheart Nation, we are stronger when we rise together. That's why you want to be part of this community. You get so many people who are positive and happy and excited about their healing journey, and here to help you as well. So bhnuniversity.com, bhnapp.com, and remember, we will not be banned. Even if we are banned, we'll have all kinds of other platforms where we're still going to get the word out, because we will stay connected and unite the freedom, health, and healing. And we end every evening with our Braveheart Nation oath. Lorraine, are you into it tonight?
I sure am.
All right.
So we're just going to slow down here for a minute. Hand on the heart. I am loved. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will always trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God, because I am, I can, I am loved, I'm healed, I'm Braveheart. And I don't know about you guys, I am all in. Cheryl?
I am all in too. And guess what? We know, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. I love doing these pelvic things on Monday nights. I love being part of this Braveheart Nation community because it has changed my life, and I love being able to pay it forward. But guess what? Guess what we know? We know that 3, 2, 1. You got this.
You got this. Thanks for joining.